All right, thanks a lot. Yeah, it's a bit humbling. Feels kind of unnecessary to come here after the presentation. So once more, big shout out to the guys at the Disaster Lab and the Aruba folks as well for. And now that we've gotten into it, I only have 10 minutes, but still, Keith. All right, so I'm Jussi. I'm from Ekahau. We are a vendor, if you will. So, last thing I want to say about the previous presentation is, so we challenge all the vendors. So Disaster Lab, anything you need from our side, we'll get it for you. And I challenge all the vendors who come here to present to say the same, okay? All right, so what I have, like 5 more minutes. So, so we are a small company, Ekahau, and we split into 2 different product groups, the location tracking and the Wi-Fi tools. End of marketing discussion and end of sales pitch. But we need focus, right? Because we only have a few guys making the products, so we need to focus. And today I was gonna show you a couple of things. And then after the session, if you could, come and say hi and tell me what you think about these 2 things, then at least, we can either forget them or develop them further. One of them is already out in the market, and I think it was a cool idea when it came out, but it didn't really take off. The other one is still under development, but I have a demo to show, and you guys can say, does it make sense? Do we need to continue or just, toss it away? All right, so here's my contacts. So if you don't come say hi to me, because I'm going to escape for dinner with, the other guys that I know, because I'm shy, then just, email me, tweet me, whatever. All right, so the first thing is this. So there's the whole ceiling level versus floor level dilemma that I've been finding is, I don't know if it's a challenge in Wi-Fi. I thought it was, but maybe it's not. So you have the laptop, you have the AP, right? And the APs do a great job at monitoring the network, right? But they don't see what's going on in the floor level. So, maybe there's a wall behind the AP. Maybe there's a rogue AP that's, low power, so it reaches the client, but doesn't reach the AP, so the APs don't see it. Maybe it's Bluetooth, low-powered Bluetooth device, whatever. So whatever the problem, it may be that the AP doesn't see it, but the client for sure experiences it. So, when we were making this Android application, first of all, I wanted an Android application for Ekahau because I didn't have an Android phone, and that was the only way I could justify it back in 2009. Okay, that was actually, honest to God, that was the reason why I wanted one. So I started specifying it, and first came up with like, okay, it could be like testing the network, doing active passive testing, whatever, and just showing you green and red, does the network work? So signal is kind of bad and there's some rogue APs nearby, whatever. But that's not the point. The point is like monitoring from the client perspective. So what you can do here is, first of all, set your requirements. So let's say we're doing voice, and then we enable the monitoring thingy for the client perspective. So the beauty is you can put your Android phone back in your pocket. It just says, background monitoring enabled. And then you can walk around, do your daily tasks as you're the IT administrator or whoever. And then the tool will warn you when there's a problem in the Wi-Fi network, and it will write log and stuff like that. So in a way, either you carry your smartphone in your pocket and you just do your daily tasks, and then once a problem occurs, you will be notified. And then maybe you take action right away, maybe you don't, but at least you will have a monitor walking around the Wi-Fi network on the client's perspective all the time. Maybe you install this on some of your employees' phones as well, because it runs on the background, it's completely non-intrusive. Does it eat your battery? A little bit, sure. So that's kind of the idea, and it also integrates. This is not to showcase Amanda, our marketing person. It's actually to say that it integrates with your Pebble as well, so you get notifications on your Pebble if you're super geeky. Or if you're ultra geeky, you do what Ryan does and integrate it with gear. You know where I'm going, Blake. And if you're Blake, then you do it with glass, right? Anyways, so my question is, does this kind of thing make sense? So this is just a picture that, it also writes those to the log, and then you can email the log to somebody that can actually decode it. So it takes a snapshot of the network when the problem occurs, so that you can decode all that client-side things on the, somebody can look at them that then understands what's actually happening. So my question is, does this make any sense? Is the RF, is the Wi-Fi network so much different on the client perspective that it actually requires some kind of monitoring on the client level? Because honestly, I don't think a lot of people use this. So if it's not widely used, then let's just sauce it, okay? But if you see value in this, then let's develop it further. Oh, but that's not the end. How many minutes do we have? We have 4:20. Plenty of time. All right. Can you still see my screen? I killed the PowerPoint. I didn't mean to kill my screen too. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah, exactly. Now that we talk about like what should we develop further, what will you say? Maxup. Yeah, exactly. But it's coming. I just don't know when. So okay, let's take that offline. Okay. So here's another cool thing, not as cool as Mac, but still hopefully pretty cool. So the idea is that we were talking about warehouse deployments today, and then there's the whole outdoor planning thing. So warehouses, outdoor planning, things like that kind of require a 3D prediction tool if you want to really get a good feel for it. But then the 3D tools are like super hard to use. So what we're trying to kind of bring out is, our tool is 3D, but it's a 2D user interface. So what we're bringing out is height for the objects that you place on a 2D map. So what we have here, for example, I hope you can see, but it's a directional antenna on top of a 24-meter, like a 100-feet building, 75-feet building, a directional antenna pointing down, and then there's some lower buildings. So this is a tall building, then lower buildings here. And what I have is an AP with a directional antenna here. So what I can do is tilt the antenna up, down, whatever, see how the buildings are shadowing or creating shadows for the signals and stuff like that. So my question is, can you actually do something useful with a two-dimensional map, but with a three-dimensional simulation algorithm? So it makes things easy, but it doesn't take into account things like terrain and mountains, whatever. But you could do like city block planning with it. You could do warehouse planning with it so that you have shelves not all the way to the ceiling. Like normally in planners, it's either you use a super complicated wireless valley tool, which is super feature rich and super 3D, but then it's pretty hard to use. Or you use tools like ours, which have like walls all the way to the ceiling. So now we're going to introduce this, if you see this as valuables, where you can put in objects of different heights and then do city block planning, do warehouse planning, stuff like that. So you can, with the tool already, tilt antennas up and down and do that kind of stuff. This combined with the building heights, shelves heights, maybe it makes sense. Maybe it doesn't, I don't know. Either way, that's all I have. Still 1 minute left, so guys, go get a super quick cup of coffee or not. Thanks, guys.